All right, this whole year we are talking about how to rebuke fear this school year. We have within Exodus the second time where we see the word fear, and we really want to implement it in our life. Not just so that we could be afraid, not we can know how are we supposed to deal with fear within the classroom, within our home, within our inner selves. Go ahead, listen up. Today is the day, that you have made.
Evidence appearing real.
Hey,
False evidence appearing real.
today
False evidence
is the
appearing
day
real. False
that
evidence
my
appearing
Jesus
real.
Christ has
False
made.
evidence
Oh,
appearing
oh.
real. False evidence appearing real.
So God, it's in verse 20 where it says, so God was good to the midwives, and the people multiplied and became very mighty. God was good to those midwives. God was good to them. They kept their job. They were able to still help. But Pharaoh's decree, he was like, okay, I'm going to need to get some other people involved because these midwives, something's happening and the job's not being done. There's a bunch of kids that are still being birthed. Do you get me? When you see that, teacher friends, see right here, I want to explain it correctly, thoroughly from the full word of God. That's the Old Testament and now within the New Testament. Not to say that they are against each other. They actually complement each other. Right here, I'm reading in Romans 13, 1 through 5. Verse 1, it says, let every person be loyally subject to the governing civil authorities, for there is no authority except from God, by his permission, his sanction, and those that exist do so by God's appointment. Did you ever put into your mind that maybe you are in a country that is going through some harsh stuff, but it's because of God? Like God allowed that? Like, huh? What? I know it's a mind blow for me too sometimes, but we gotta fear him. We gotta fear God. I mean, you don't have to, but hey, it's going to be much better for your life. I'm just letting know. All right. But verse 2, it says, therefore, he who resists and sets himself up against the authorities resist what God has appointed and arranged in divine order. I'm reading the Amplified so you hear it. In divine order. And those who resist will bring down judgment upon themselves, receiving the penalty due them. Receiving the penalty due them. So you're saying me, hold on, God. You're saying that if I get arrested, but I am very much in the right, all right? I am not in the wrong. If I get arrested, that I should just let them arrest. Like, what are you talking about, Romans 13? But it says, in divine order. And those who resist will bring down judgment upon themselves. Yo, you could be going to jail, which is a good thing, but because you resisted, you could actually get penalty. And you're like, oh, wait, hold on. So that's why this fear that I'm talking about right here, this fear is that you are like, what you have in mind, God, I'm going to follow. And sometimes I don't understand all the time, which is very important. Teachers, the strategy is to pray, to have that relationship with him so that when different things go awry in your life, you will know exactly, oh, hold on, I'm in the will of God. This doesn't seem like a good situation, but I'm in the will of God. Do you know that the apostles, that the disciples, that they were arrested multiple times? Do you know that certain bad things to other people, bad things that were happening to the God's anointed, they were doing the right things, but certain things that politically, that societal wise would seem bad, like, they must have been doing some bad things. No, it was only in divine order so that they and their message could go ahead and be spread. Verse 3 of Romans 13, it says, for civil authorities are not a terror to people of good conduct, but to those of bad behavior. Who would you have no dread of him who is in authority? Then do what is right. Hold on, try it again. Do what is right. Last time. Do what is right, and you will receive his approval and commendation. I'm going to pause it right there. Okay? because we have certain civil unrest happening within the nation. And I'm going to stand on business and let y'all know God is in control. Everything is within divine order. And you know that people are people. Okay. You can't control them. You can't. But most of the people who are authorities or policemen or policewomen, okay, they just trying to do a job. They just trying to fulfill a task so that they can go back to their family and live a healthy life. Okay. They not trying to have any problems. So why would regular citizens come against other citizens who just happen to be working a job? Come on now. It says, therefore he who resists and sets himself up against authorities resists what God has appointed. Why would you come against what God has appointed? That's how you're going to get a penalty. That's how people get hurt. That's how people go and do things, because no, you don't resist like that. You resist like Pua, and you resist like Shipra did with the Pharaoh. Okay, they did their job. They were in their room, and when it came to murder, they were like, I'm not gonna go ahead and murder. Okay, think about this. If they say no, and I'm gonna be stickler for it. If a road sign says, hey, we're not jaywalking. If you jaywalk, you're going to get $100 fine. And then you decide to jaywalk, even though they jaywalk over in a different state or a different country. What are you going to be like? No, I'm going to fight this crime. I'm not paying that. You're going against the authority. Okay. For civil authorities are not a terror to people of good conduct. Do you have good conduct?
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We are here. This is Youth and the Future. I am Princess Abunbi Prudence, the CEO of Youth and the Future. I have my partner here, Mr. Joshua. We are here to share our challenges with you. We are here to get you informed about what is going on the ground. We are here to speak on the behalf of the voiceless people who cannot speak. We are here to share our ideas so that you and I can come together to provide solutions. We are on a mission. We have a target. But yeah, we have a challenge. What is our challenge?
Our challenge is not having resources. I mean, literally, we have children that are doing everything they can to educate their minds. In fact, their minds are prepared for the future world that we're going into. They are educated. However, they don't even have the resources to be able to bring these things to life. It's truly inspiring to see that the work that they're doing, regardless of not having proper buildings, not even having a kitchen, not having proper dorms, not even having proper food, is absolutely unbelievable. Yet these people are training to be attorneys, doctors, pharmacists, attorneys. It's incredible to see, but they just need the resources. We have the system to create sovereignty where they can live on their own. We're breaking the charity model. However, without the tools, they don't have the ability to fish for themselves, and let's provide the tools for them.
Of course, helping us is about all this. You are because I am because you are. Whatever thing you're doing morally, financially, academically, we are open for your help. Help us and save a life. Help us and empower our communities. Help us to achieve this vision, because we stand on the foundation of God, and in all that which we do, let God live. Thank you.
I know teachers, you're like, hold on, I thought you were talking about classroom stuff. Well, let's talk about classroom stuff. Are you, teacher, are you a terror to students with good conduct? I don't think so. But of those of bad behavior, are you a terror to those with bad behavior? You don't want to be, but yeah, you let them know, hey, if you walk out of your seat and you slap that girl one more time, your mama, old daddy, they are gonna know. All right? Because they most likely will be the one doing it. We're gonna call them up so that they can go ahead and put a smack down on you, since you smack down on those other kids. Come on now. Would you have no dread of him who is in authority? Then do what is right, and you will receive approval. That's what you're teaching the students. Do what is right, and then you'll receive approval. Do what is right. Teaching. I trust that most of you teachers, at least that are listening to this podcast, you are teaching them what is right. And if you're not, Teacher, we forgive you. Give your life to Christ, repent, and follow his word so you can teach those kids to do what is right. Have good conduct. And as they have good conduct, then good. So think about this, teacher friend. Think about it. You're like, you're stressed. You got a bunch of stuff happening at home. The school says to do something. And as the school says to do something, then you're like, okay, I'm going to tell it to these students. But then the students, they have a voice. And because you taught them to have a respectful voice, to speak up for themselves, to advocate properly, appropriately. And they say, I'm sorry, Mr. Alfie. Mr. Alfie, this is wrong. All right. This is wrong, sir. I don't, may I sit out of this activity? You get me? You get me? Like, they're still there. They're being polite. They're being all that, but they're just not doing the activity that you stated to do. And then you realize, wow, that was such a polite way to deny doing this activity. Oh, wow. You know what? Sometimes it even shows like, wow, that's an integral person. Okay. They're still wanting to follow instructions, but they just are not doing that portion right there. You get me? It speaks highly of them. It speaks to their maturity. It speaks to them having good conduct. And teacher friend, you could do that as well. You have good conduct. If the school says something, obey the school. All right. But if the school says something that is evil, then only do good. Only do good, not evil. And I know some of y'all would be like, yo, but I did do good and I got fired. Accept it. Accept it. God has placed you there for a certain time, and then that was your time to go out. If you didn't do anything wrong, all right? If you did something wrong, then you got to go ahead and fix that up so you don't do that in the future. You get me? You heard? All right. Whoo, this is getting into it. I'm loving this. Oh, and if you love it as well, if you want to have that one-on-one coaching for 60 days, you just call up 667-415-0292. We can go ahead and have this rapport with a coach so that you can accomplish a professional goal, bring up your career, bring up the students, whether it be in classroom management or academic success, or just with organization as a teacher, so you feel less overwhelmed, so you feel more valued, so that you feel more respected within the parents and the students. Then we can definitely help you with those three things. And everybody who's a part of our 60-day coaching program, the cost of it actually goes so that you can have monies on the side. So by you paying for the program, you're actually sowing into your own savings account so that you could go ahead and keep making money, and you will be able to be not underpaid anymore, but just under contract. What does under contract mean? I'm glad you asked. Under contract means that you are there because you love students. You love teaching. You love that you have an impact, a long-lasting impact on impressionable minds so that they can do great and marvelous things, not skibbity and brain rot things, okay? You are creating producers instead of consumers. If you would like to do that and not worry about what you get paid, yes, you're going to have it for the benefits. Yes, you have it for the good times, but you don't have to dread on not paying your bills. Then go ahead and sign up for the 60-day one-on-one coaching program so that you, my friend, will be able to change your 1,000 to 100,000 by the end of the year. There you go. False evidence appearing real. I take my heel, smash it down, obey Abba for his grace reveals. That is so.